1 Kings 17. Elijah the Tishbite from Tishbe in Gilead said to Ahab, "As certainly as the Lord God of Israel lives, whom I serve, there will be no dew or rain in the years ahead unless I give the command." The Lord's message came to him, "Leave here and travel eastward. Hide out in Kerith Valley near the Jordan. Drink from the stream. I have already told the ravens to bring you food there." So we suddenly are introduced to Elijah. Elijah just shows up in the northern kingdom speaking to Ahab. So the messenger is coming to the northern kingdom, to the most sinful king since Jeroboam. All of them did sinful, evil things. They did more, they multiplied more, and he went above and beyond. He went above and beyond. So he is getting a message that there is no dew or rain, which means drought. There was no dew, no rain, unless I give the command. So Elijah is given the power to make the command for rain or dew to come to the northern kingdom, otherwise drought. And if we remember, which we should, that when there is a drought, it is a spiritual problem in the land. When there is no rain, it is a spiritual problem, and you need to repent. You need to go back to God. You need to make restitution or resolution, restoration for what the sin has been committed. We already know what it is, so we don't have to wonder. We're getting told there's a spiritual problem. It's been in the northern kingdom since Jeroboam came in. It's gotten worse. Let me see. How long was it that Jeroboam came in? Around 930 BC, and we are now somewhere in, I'm going to say 870. Let's just pick that in Ahab's reign somewhere. Let's just pick 870 would give us 60 years. So somewhere around 60 years of sin in the northern kingdom, and now we're going to finally have a judgment on the people that's going to be given out, because the land is all going to be impacted. Okay. The Lord's message, and he's also supposed to go to the Jordan, where I've told you you'll drink from the stream, and I'm sending ravens to bring you food, which is an interesting thing to provide for you. So ravens are going to bring food to you. I've never been fed by an animal. I don't know how I feel about having an animal bring me food. This seems really weird. But that's what God does. Ravens are going to provide for him. So he carried out the Lord's message. He went and lived in the Kerith Valley near the Jordan. The ravens would bring him bread and meat each morning and evening, and he would drink from the stream. Okay, so I just want to point out and notice something here. They bring him bread and meat in the morning and in the evening. And if we go back to the wandering in the desert, they had bread in the morning and they had quail in the evening. So they had a back and forth, bread in one part of the day, meat at the other part of the day, but it was morning and evening is when we had food. So, like, if you want to just think about a diet that they had, they ate a meal when they got up, and they ate a meal in the evening. They ate twice a day. That's what we have as an image here of this. So I'm not saying you got to follow it. I'm just looking at what the text is saying. I'm not saying it's telling us that's what we need to do. I'm saying the way that God provided was morning and evening. God provided in the morning. God provided in the evening. So maybe the raven steals the food wrapped up. Wrapper up? No, probably not. I'm guessing probably not at all. And the raven might even, bring in an animal. It might bring let's just say a quail, because you could eat quail. Maybe it brings a quail in. Maybe maybe it brings a leg of a goat. I don't know what the raven's bringing. It's bringing meat and it's bringing bread. So it's got to be around people to get the bread. Maybe it's just stealing cuts of meat from the people too. Maybe it's bringing, well, no, it says meat, so it wouldn't be fish. I was going to say maybe it was bringing fish, but Fish is not usually categorized as meat in ancient times. So anyway, interesting to notice anyway. So he's hanging out. He's got nothing to do except hang out, be provided for by God. His whole job is over at this point. Tell Ahab it ain't going to rain. Go wait. Wait over here. I'll provide for you. After a while, the stream dried up because there had been no rain in the land. So he is there waiting to see the very proof that what he said is true. So now the stream dries up because there's no rain, because he has commanded no rain. The Lord's message to him: get up and go to Zarephath in the Sidonian territory and live there. I have already told a widow who lives there to provide for you. So he got up and went to Zarephath. When he went through the city gate, there was a widow gathering wood. He called out to her, "Please give me a little cup of water so I can take a drink." As she went to get it, he called out to her, "Please give me a piece of bread." She said, "As certainly as the Lord your God lives, I have no food except a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. Right now I am gathering a couple of sticks for fire. Then I'm going home to make one final meal for my son and myself. After we have eaten that, we will die of starvation." Okay, wait a minute. I thought God said he had a widow that he had commanded to make food for you. Isn't that what he said? This doesn't sound like that's what's happening. I go up to the territory. I've already told a widow who lives there. Let me see what the footnote is. What is on the told there? Look, I have commanded. Okay, I have already told I've already commanded a widow who lives there to provide for you. Is this the wrong person? Has he got the wrong person? Because she's not saying God told me I should do this, but she does say the God whom you serve. So she does recognize Elijah. So she has had an encounter with God. A man's going to come to you, ask for food. So Elijah said to her, "Don't be afraid. Go and do as you planned. But first, make me a small cake and bring it to me. Then make something for yourself and your son." Okay, so go ahead. Gather your sticks. Make your last meal. That's fine. I don't want to interrupt your plans to starve to death. You're fine. You can go ahead and do that. Starve to death. I just like a little meal first, a little water, and a little piece of bread. For this is what the Lord God of Israel has said: the jar of flour will not be empty, and the jug of oil will not run out until the day the Lord makes it rain on the surface of the ground. So she has a jug a jug of flour and a jug of oil. They're not going to run out. Not going to run out. God has commanded. They won't run out. She went and did as Elijah told her. There was always enough food for Elijah and for her family. The jar of flour was never empty, and the jug of oil never ran out. It kept in keeping with the Lord's message that he had spoken through Elijah. This is there's a lot of amazing miracles. This has got to be one of the most amazing miracles ever. It just won't run out. I'll just pick on a couple of things. Here's my tea mug. It runs out. This one's almost out. I drink it and it's gone. It doesn't refill itself. That's not a magical jar that keeps filling itself. My bag of cough drops, it's half empty. I can't just keep reaching in there forever and keep getting a cough drop. But God does a miracle. I don't know how, this is one of those things, how did that happen? How cool was that? Did you ever think about, hey, maybe I should, pour it out into another container and sell it? I mean, this container is going to keep filling, and I'm going to keep, I don't know. It's just that interesting, fascinating idea. Anyway, keeping going. After this, the son of the woman who owned the house got sick. His illness was so severe, he could no longer breathe. She asked Elijah, "Why, prophet, have you come to me to confront me with my sin and kill my son?" So you're come here to confront me with my sin and kill my son. to make me remember my sin. Okay. What is her sin? We don't have what it is, but she knows what it is, and she has a guilty conscience. She has a guilty conscience because her son is sick. She thinks this is a result of her sin. Now, Elijah hasn't said that. I don't know that God has said that. We don't know because God said he did come to her, so maybe there was something said when he came to her to tell her she was going to feed Elijah. We don't know any of that. He said to her, "Hand me your son." He took him from her arms, carried him to the upper room where he was staying, and laid him down on the bed. Then he called out to the Lord, "O Lord my God, are you also bringing disaster on this widow I am staying with by killing her son?" He stretched out over the boy 3 times and called out to the Lord, "O Lord my God, please let the boy's breath return to him." The Lord answered Elijah's prayer. The boy's breath returned to him, and he lived. Elijah took the boy, brought him down from the upper room of the house, and handed him to his mother. Elijah then said, "See, your son is alive." The woman said to Elijah, "Now I know that you are a prophet and that the Lord's message really does come through you." I'm sorry, the never-ending jug... I was going to just say the never-ending pasta bowl, the never-ending jug of flour and the jug of oil would be a pretty good clue that God, works through you. And now I know you're a prophet. I'm sorry, I know you're a prophet by that. I don't need to see raised from the dead to know you're a prophet. But the exuberant, the exclamation point, the praising of God is coming out here. And it's interesting, stretches out on the boy 3 times. So he lays the boy out and he lays on top of him 3 times. I don't know if it's trying to get warmth into him or if it's, chest to chest laying on him, breathing his breath. I'm not thinking he's doing CPR, but I'm just saying like the idea of breathing into him by breath, not actually mouth to mouth, like is something like that what we should have in mind here or not with what he is doing? But regardless, he's stretching out on the boy and then he prays, or he prays and then he stretches out on the boy, whichever direction and order it goes. He is praying and God does indeed answer his prayer and the boy lives. But what's interesting here is he's in the northern kingdom of Israel where they should know who God is. They should be following God. They're not. He goes to the king and tells the king there ain't going to be any rain because you're evil, doing evil, all of that, and you're evil, and leaves. So the people who are following God or should be following God are not following God. He goes to a foreigner, and this woman can truly see who God is. These would be people that the northern kingdom have no concern for. The Sidonians, like, no, we don't care about them. They're our enemy. They don't need to come and know who God is. We're not following God, but they don't need to know who God is. So God does repeatedly throughout the Old Testament show love, grace, and mercy to people outside of Israel, while Israel is rejecting him. That's one of the things that we see as we go through these stories.